guys, happy Tuesday today. I was going to make some of these ornaments that I'm going to use as gift tags. Actually, I was out looking at gift tags the other day and I thought I have all these leftover craft supplies from projects I've done in the past. So I'm just thinking, why not make some more of these or try and DIY some gift tags? So I thought I'd get on here and show you what I'm doing. Super easy, but it's super cute, and I made these last year. I found this idea from a friend of mine. And like I always forget to say in the beginning, I never know if this is working. So when you come in, are you hosting Thanksgiving this year? Are you going somewhere else? Who's hosting Thanksgiving? What are your plans for the day? If you guys can tell me that as you come in, then I will know if this is working. But I added a link up above to the blog post that I wrote last year for this. The sun's going to start coming through this window here. So you can find all the supplies that I used and how if you wanted a full tutorial on how I do it, it's all in the link up above. And I also left another link up there if you are on Instagram, and if you're not, that's totally okay. The garland that I made the other day live here, it's part of a contest, and today is the last day to vote. And so I just put the link up there. If you do have Instagram, if you just head over there, click the link and then just push the heart right underneath my photo. That's all you have to do to vote. And then the winner is chosen tomorrow. So it's the final day for it. So I'm just trying to do one final push. It'd be fun to win that little contest. So that's what that is for. And if you don't have Instagram, I totally understand. I know some of us don't have all the things. So anyway, all the social media channels, there's too many to keep up with, to be honest. So this is what I'm going to make today. This little ornament, and I'm going to put names on the back, and I'm going to use them as gift tags this year. I have a Christmas tree in our back porch that I put a bunch of these ornaments on last year, and they're on there now, but I just had a few more of these little ornaments that I can still use, and I needed some gift tags. I thought I got some last year, but I didn't. So I'm going to make those for the gift tags, and I'm going to hopefully stay out of that sun so you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me move this down. This is super, super, super easy to do. First of all, find some napkins that you like. I got these on clearance through the Hearth and Hand line last year at the end of Christmas. And these are the ones I used. I think I used both of them last year. I also picked up these. And so I have these. I think they were 90% off, so they were 29 cents. So that's pretty awesome. You could also do, I forgot I had these down here. These were for fall. Sorry, I'm trying to stay out of that. They're just stripes. These would also be really pretty to use as gift tags. And like I said, if you're coming in and can see me and hear me, just let me know where you're coming in from or where you're going for Thanksgiving. Are you hosting Thanksgiving? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get these little wood ornaments. You can buy them anywhere. I got mine on Amazon. I picked up these on clearance at a store. But I've got the link in the post above where you can get a great deal on them. And what you're going to do is open your napkin. And these are a little you could use any napkin you want. Some napkins are made thinner. These are a little thicker. They're not a cloth. They're a paper napkin, but they're a little thicker, if you know what I mean. So they won't tear as easily when you're working with them, but you definitely could use a thinner napkin. Just be more careful. So let me move this down. Okay, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So all I'm going to use is school glue. And I'm going to, just put the glue all over the front of your ornament. And then use a paintbrush and just paint it smooth. You just want that glue to not be so thick. Just like that. So it's just a thin layer of glue. Let's set that down. And then, you guys can see that, right? Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this napkin, open it all the way up so you're not doubling the napkin. So you're not, does that make sense? Don't double up the napkin, just open it all the way. And then you're going to line up, Can you guys see that ornament a little bit? You're just going to line up the decoration where you want it on your ornament. Napkins like this are usually super thin, so you can see right through it, which makes it easy. And then you're just going to press it down. So let me see if this will stay on. So then you've got it like this. You see that? Then what you're going to do, it's basically like Mod Podging. I never have ever bought, I've done a lot of projects with the kids with Mod Podge, but I've always used school glue. It's less expensive, and sometimes I water it down, so I'll put a little bit of this in a shallow dish and put a little bit of water so I can spread it easier. And if you were using a thinner napkin, that is what I would tell you to do, because if it's a thinner napkin, when you're brushing over it, you're gonna tear it. So if you have a real thin napkin, just put your glue in a dish, a bowl, and add some water so it thins it out, and it'll make it so much easier to put over, it'll be easier to glide over with the brush. So that's my tip if you're using a thinner napkin. These napkins are strong, and so I'm just going on it with straight glue to make sure the stronger they are, it's going to be harder the more glue you'll need to have it sit down. Okay, just making sure you guys can see this. This ornament, let me show you, has these ridges, up on the top. So I'm just trying to push my paintbrush up in there so that it goes inside those creases. So I'm pushing the napkin up there so it goes inside the creases. I didn't do that with my first one, and it's not that noticeable, especially if you have a napkin that's almost the same color as the, I think you guys are coming in. If you've got a napkin the same color as the wood, you're not going to notice it. Okay, so once you do that, you are going to let it dry. Or if you're impatient, I don't know anything about that, you could also maybe use a hair dryer and have it dry quicker. Been there, done that a few times. So I'm going to set this one aside. And I kind of have one at that stage. It's still a little tacky, but here it is at that stage where it's ready to cut. So the first thing I do is, again, this is going to depend on your napkin. If you have a smaller napkin, just you won't have to cut as much. So I'm just cutting around this napkin just so I can it's easier to handle. And then what I use, if you don't wait till they're fully dry, it may tear a little bit I knew that sun was going to do that, when you cut it. So just be careful with that. If you have time to let them fully dry, it's better. It's just easier to cut. I use an X-Acto knife and I turn it over and I just cut. You could even use your scissors and get this cleaner, which I might do. I'm just cutting on this. I didn't grab my cutting mat. So I'm just cutting on a piece of foam that came in a package yesterday because that's what I had near me. And you know what? You can use if ribbon comes on your ornaments, use them. I'm just taking off the red ribbon because I'm going to put something else in there. And then just all you have to do is cut around your ornament. The X-Acto knife just gets it really close, but I will share a tip. If you do not have an X-Acto knife, I will share a tip that helps. And I wish I would have brought some in the house, but it's out in the garage and I didn't grab it. It's still tacky, so it's wanting to stick. So basically, you're just gonna, that's sun. Okay, so you're just gonna pull that off. This is what it's gonna look like, especially if it's still tacky like this one is. Don't worry about that. When it's fully dry, take sandpaper around this edge and all of these will come off. It'll be clean, perfectly clean. Just a little sandpaper. Like I said, I didn't grab it from the garage. but right now it's still too tacky for me to do that anyway. The X-Acto knife does work good too, just to go along the edge. But again, if it's not fully dry, it's not going to do it very well. So make sure they're fully dry. I'm trying to see if I can show you on this one. I kind of already did it. I just used my X-Acto knife like this. You guys can see that. And I just went with the sharp edge just around, and it took off all the excess. But even easier than that is sandpaper. Just run it along your edges and it'll take off all of those these little things when it's dry. If it's still tacky, it won't come off. And so then I use my X-Acto knife up here around these little edges. I know I'm covering that. To go around the curve of the ornament up there. And again, I will just use sandpaper when this is dry and it'll be all clean. But you could leave this just like this on this one. I painted it black, and it's not really black. This has become my favorite. It's called Pavement, and it's from Apple Barrel. I don't know. It would have been Michael's or probably Walmart that we picked this up. It's just a really good, kind of like a really dark charcoal color. And that's what I put up there. I painted that, or you can leave it like this. But the next step is, okay, once it's dry, mine's still tacky, but I'm still going to do it, is I put another sanding block. Now I can see the sanding block would work fine. Yep, just use a sanding block. If you've got one of those. So I'm just going to put glue all over this again. I'm going to use my paintbrush, flatten it out again. Again, if you have a real thin napkin, this could tear. So just use soft hands and don't pull so much. You just want to get a layer of glue on there and you want to smooth it out. Okay, so once you do that, this is usually never me, but after I did these last year, this extra fine glitter, it's amazing. It's so pretty. I usually don't like to use glitter because of the mess, but it does not make that much of a mess. Since it's so fine. So I just sprinkle that over. It just kind of looks like snow over the trees. I like that. So just like you would any glitter, just put it over the glue in a thin layer. Then I like to move it around a little bit. And then you'll get the excess off, obviously. I kind of like it without I'm going to paint this one too. I have a few more to do. So I'll leave some with just the natural wood and then others with the painted. Yes, you could totally use Mod Podge. I just have never bought it. I always have school glue on hand. So that's why I use that. But I feel like the projects that I've ever done, it works perfectly well. So you're just going to paint this and make sure, I have to go over my other one, you get on the underside, especially if these are going to be laying on a present, which these are going to be. I have enough in my Christmas tree, and I needed some gift tags. I was looking at buying some the other day in the Target dollar area, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I could just make something. Use what I already have. I don't need to buy all the extra stuff. Let's use what I have. And then this way, they'll get a little ornament. Oh, look, can you guys see that? Isn't that pretty? They'll get an ornament on their gift as well. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. If you make sure you clean out or put your paintbrush in water, because the glue will ruin your kids' paintbrush if you're using their little tiny ones. I did that, poor Gabrielle. 2 of her paintbrushes, I forgot to put it in water, and so I could probably actually put them in water and it would come off. So then basically all I'm gonna do now is, I have this ribbon that I got on clearance. You could use twine like this, any ribbon you have. Leave the red ribbon on as well. But I have green wrapping paper, so I'm going to use these. I should hairdryer. Let me just do this so I don't get the black paint all over the ribbon. Does anybody else have a hairdryer when they are crafting? Or I use it for chocolatier projects and stuff like this where I'm kind of crunched for time, but want to get it done. Okay, so then I just fold this down because this is kind of a thicker ribbon. Fold it down, put it through. And then, you guys can see that. Okay, I'm just gonna cut this and tie it up at the top. Easy peasy. But if you had a few of these to do, just put it in like an assembly line. Do the first layer of glue, then do the napkin, then let them all dry, and then you'll be ready to sand or use your X-Acto knife. I got some of the glitter up on the, don't look at the edges. Like I said, once it fully dries, I thought I had it dry for you guys, but it's not fully dry, so I don't want to sand that. But they're super cute, and they're so pretty on a tree. I have kind of a rustic looking tree in our back porch, and these hanging on them, it's really, really pretty. You use your hairdryer too, see? Sometimes I just don't have the patience to let them sit overnight, or in the hairdryer really trying to get out of that sun. Do you guys have any questions about this project? It's super easy, and you could make it, I mean, you could do this. They have these wood shapes in ornaments in all shapes. Gingerbread guys, they have gingerbread men, stars, all kinds of shapes. So you could get them in any shape and use them for ornaments or gift tags. I don't know if I said this, I will just write their names on the back of these once they're dry. And that's how I will use them. Whoa, that sun wants to. Okay, if you have any questions, we're going to my sister's for Thanksgiving. She hosts Thanksgiving, and then I get Christmas Eve. So we will be heading there. I thought we were supposed to have snow, but I think we are not now. So that's a good thing. Okay, let me just make sure I didn't miss. There's I've said it before, like a lag in the lives. I can't see your comments, but then all of a sudden they all come up, and then I never want to miss a question when I'm here. Definitely could use Mod Podge. A sanding block would work amazing. Yes. Yeah, okay, I think I got them all. If you guys have any questions about this project, you can always check the link up above to the blog posts when I made them last year. I've got all the information in there. Leave a comment here. I will check back. The voting for my garland, today's the last day, so I just put that link up in there. If you're on Instagram or you're next to a bunch of people that have Instagram, they just have to open that link, and then they can, if they just push the heart, that's all they have to do to vote. They don't have to put in an email or their name or anything. They just have to click the heart. So I thought I'd do one extra push today since today's the last day. So that's what the voting thing is for, the link up above. So yeah, these are so cute. And you could do them, like I said, now that I've done these, I always look for cute napkins after the holidays that, and these were the ones that I used with the Christmas trees after the holidays. So then I can do this on other projects, because you could do this on so many different things. But so after the holidays, or now go out, TJ Maxx and Home Goods, they usually have some good napkins. I didn't see anything great this year in Hearth and Hand yet. I don't know if they're coming out with something else, but try Home Goods and TJ Maxx for sure to find some really cute napkins to use. So, okay, I'm going to hop off here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be back soon to share another little project.